Center. Christina Montori joining us this morning. Christina, good morning.
Good morning. We are expecting about 2 more inches of rain, and keep in mind the ground is already very saturated, especially along the Blue Ridge Parkway. And area-wide right now, we do have a flash flood watch in effect until tomorrow morning. And we're seeing that darker green shading in parts of Floyd, Franklin, and Patrick counties. That is where we have an aerial flood warning right now until 10:15. Areas expecting to see some of that flooding this morning: Floyd, Woolwine, Copper Hill, and areas around the Rocky Knob Recreation area. We have some heavy downpours now going on, especially through Montgomery and western Roanoke County along Interstate 81, going through the Radford and Elliston areas. We have another pocket of heavy rainfall now moving into Ridgeway. That will continue moving to the north into Martinsville around 6:10. Same thing into Horse Pasture around 6:25 into areas around Collinsville. I'll have your forecast broken down for you hour by hour. And just the radar picture, pretty ominous right now. We have some pockets of heavy downpours across most of the region. The heaviest rain right now, and we were even seeing a little bit of lightning earlier through Radford along Interstate 81 and into Christiansburg. So we are going to have a couple of thunderstorms embedded in these heavy downpours. In Eden right now, just south of the Virginia border, we have some very heavy downpours associated with a thunderstorm as well. That's moving into Ridgeway right now. We'll have those heavy downpours moving into Horse Pasture around 6:25, 6:30 into Martinsville. Around noon today, here's your hour-by-hour forecast. We're expecting area-wide heavy rain. After about 5 this afternoon, most of the heavy downpours will be north of 460. And then after about midnight tonight, the heaviest rain will be north of the area. We will get a little bit of a break, but we are going to see some runoff still causing some flooding issues. And then we get one more push of energy on our Wednesday afternoon, bringing us more pockets of heavy rainfall. But the heaviest will be today. We are expecting around 2 inches of rain, with some areas getting up to 3 or even 4 inches. And I think the most vulnerable areas are going to be along the Blue Ridge Parkway today, because that is where we've already seen a significant amount of rainfall. Temperatures will be in the 70s today and tomorrow, 60s for the rest of the week. We will finally see the sunshine Sunday and into Monday. Aaron?
Let's get straight to Storm Team 10 Chief Meteorologist Jeff Hanowich. He's tracking the showers. And Jeff, there's one more kind of solid band coming through, right?
And once that solid band is through, we should start to see some improvement. But it's going to take a little while for that to happen, because these things are moving so slowly. We're going to start with the flood warnings. These are river flood warnings. The first two I'm going to show you. This one for the Roanoke River. It's supposed to crest at 14 feet here sometime this evening or early tomorrow. Keep in mind, the flood stage for the Roanoke River in Roanoke and Salem is around 10 feet, so we're looking at some moderate flooding forecast here for about the next 12 hours or so. We also have a river flood warning for the Dan River at Danville, Paces, and South Boston. The river's supposed to crest at around 19 feet. The flood stage is 17 feet, so we're looking at minor flooding forecast out across parts of Pittsylvania and Halifax County. So now, with all the rain that we've seen, there's no surprise to tell you there's an aerial flood warning for all of these green-shaded counties until 9:45. Some folks have seen upwards of 10 inches of rain here over the last 4 to 5 days, and the areas that have been hit the hardest are these areas that you see highlighted in this green color. Here now showing that the showers continue to fall, the rain continues to fall, heaviest right now out across the New River Valley. That's why I said that's bad news, because this is the area that has been impacted the most thus far today and yesterday. Galax right now being hit hard with some rain, as are folks in and around Hillsville. More rain heading into Floyd County right now. You've seen pictures of Floyd County. That is not what they want to see in Floyd County for sure. We've got more in the way of some very heavy rain just to the north of Lynchburg, maybe even parts of Lynchburg, say near Peakland. Then you head north into areas near Peddler Mills. If you're watching us in Angelo and Amherst, I think your rain will get heavier here over about the next hour or so. New River Valley right now seeing the heaviest rain, as all of this is moving to the north and east at around about 20 to 25 miles per hour. We've got team coverage alongside you. I'm going to toss it to Alan, who's tracking all these showers.
All right, Jeff, you can see more rain heading our way from the south and west. The New River Valley, if you are watching, you're seeing some pockets of moderate rain here into Carroll County. That's continuing to lift off to the north and east towards the Roanoke Valley as we get into the next few minutes. If we zoom a little bit closer towards your region around Galax, Hillsville, you are seeing that moderate to heavy rain. Also around Floyd, where these areas have seen up to 10 inches of rain over the last 4 to 5 days. So we are absolutely saturated, just can't hold any more water. And a couple of showers and downpours around Danville right now. Of course, that Dan River is expected to go out of its banks as well over the next day. So rainfall total estimates, this is just over the past 24 hours, not over the past several days. And last night we saw this plume of moisture coming in right out of the south, and you see the area around Blacksburg, also Patrick County, Floyd County, up to 3 to as much as 6 inches of rainfall.
Welcome back. In the top block hit, we talked about the river flood warnings and the flood advisories and flood warnings due to all the rain. I want to mention this before we actually look at the radar picture. We also are under a flash flood watch for virtually everyone from now through 11 a.m. on Wednesday. Here's a look at the radar picture, and you'll notice, friends, that we continue to have rain falling. The rain not as widespread as it was just a couple of hours ago, but nevertheless, it is raining very heavily out across especially southern Bedford County, into Franklin County, even into parts of the Roanoke Valley. We're going to zoom into this cell right here. This is about the heaviest rain we have across the viewing area, and it is situated in and along Highway 40 near Glade Hill, Simmons Creek Road, areas near Meadow River Drive, dealing with some very heavy rain. All of this, by the way, moving to the northeast at around about 25 miles per hour. As far as how much rain we've seen today, parts of the New River Valley, 3 to 6 inches of rain. Farther to the north, 1 to 2 inches of rain, and then out across parts of South Side, you've gotten about a ½ inch to 1 inch of rain. So anywhere between a ½ inch to 6 inches of rain have fallen today, and that is on top of anywhere between 3 and 5 inches of rain that have fallen over the last couple of days. So overall, it has been a complete and total mess, and rain, go away. Couldn't say it any better myself. This graphic is showing that we got in Roanoke around 1.5 inches on Saturday, over 2 inches of rain on Sunday. On Monday, only about 1/4 inch, and then today we're up to 1.60, making for the 5-day total and upwards of around 5.5 inches of rain. And that's just in Roanoke. Parts of Floyd County, 10.5 inches of rain. And here's the deal. The chance for rain may go down a little bit tomorrow, but it goes right back up as we head into Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe even into Sunday. So while I would love to say, you know, once we get beyond tonight, it's going to clear out, that won't be the case. And there's a reason for that. To explain why we think that this weekend could potentially be quite wet, here's Alan.
All right, Jeff, we are tracking as we work our way into the next few days, the remnants of Joaquin, or rather the moisture that's going to be pluming in because of the jet stream that will yank in some of that moisture in from the Atlantic. So as we take a look at what's going on in terms of the track, right now winds at 65 miles per hour, but it's expected to become a hurricane as it works its way to the north and east. The National Hurricane Center says it's going to stay offshore, but nonetheless, that moisture, because of the jet stream to the west and high pressure to the east, really won't allow Joaquin to move out to sea. So you see that moisture coming back thanks to that jet stream off to our west, really getting closed off. And a low pressure in the upper levels is going to pull that moisture inland from the Atlantic. So that means more heavy rain. We could be talking about more inches and inches of rain Friday, Saturday, and even into Sunday. Of course, you know, we don't need any more, so we have to watch this closely as we work our way into the rest of the week.
Flood watch in effect until 11 a.m. tomorrow, and that is for virtually the entire viewing area. A look at the radar picture showing that things are pretty quiet for us, at least in comparison to what we've seen here over the last 12 to 24 hours. Yes, a few showers out across the NRV, a few showers in Patrick County, a few more into Charlotte and Halifax counties, but the conditions have gotten better for us here over the last probably 4 to 5 hours or so. There's still a little bit of rain to contend with, I think, later tonight out across, say, North Carolina and South Carolina, lifting to the northeast at around 25 miles per hour. So we still may have the chance for a little bit of rain tonight, but I don't think it's going to be heavy, and I don't think it's going to be all that widespread. But we are still dealing right now with the ramifications of all the rain we've seen over the last 5 days. For the latest on those, here's Alan.
Jeff, we still have moderate to occasionally up to near major flood stage, but minor flooding to moderate flooding expected for the Roanoke River. This is what we call a hydrograph. And you do see, ever since we've seen the rain, it's gone up to about 13.6 feet earlier this evening. It's forecast to eventually go down throughout the day tomorrow, but it's a slow process. So we are still concerned for the morning rush. The Roanoke River still will have minor flooding. It's expected to be about 11.7 feet during that time frame. The Dan River near Danville, 20.4 feet. That's at moderate flood stage for tomorrow morning. So yes, leave some extra time for that commute. There's still going to be high water out there for the morning rush. As we take a look at some of the impacts for the morning commute, again, high water a possibility, even debris on the roadways because we've had all those logs and everything being drifted from those swollen rivers. So expect some delays due to that for tomorrow. Look at the rain that we've had just over the past 5 days in Roanoke alone. We've had 5.5 inches or so, and some spots have seen even more than that, up to a foot of rain in some of the spots right along the Blue Ridge Mountains. So we don't need any more rainfall, but more rain is on the way, unfortunately, and Jeff has more on that.
Thank you very much, Alan. This is not what we wanted to see tonight, but the track for Joaquin has the hurricane strengthening perhaps into a Category 2 hurricane as it moves closer to the Bahamas and then moves to the north and will get fairly close to perhaps Cape Hatteras by Sunday. What is important is not necessarily the track of this, but notice how close it is to the U.S. We're going to have a wind out of the east, and what that's going to do is grab some of this moisture and bring it in our direction here late week into the weekend. That moisture is going to be funneled into our neck of the woods, kind of trapped by the jet stream and also by this upper level low. So we could feasibly see several more inches of rain, especially Friday, Saturday, maybe even to the first part of Sunday. This concerns me. We're going to watch this very closely for you here at Storm Team 10. And the spaghetti plots for Joaquin, well, yesterday it looked like this thing was going to stay well offshore, very well offshore. Things have changed, though, here over the last 24 hours as these spaghetti plots, which takes into account all these computer models that generate where they think Joaquin will go, most everyone has shifted farther west. So we're going to have to watch this very closely for you at Storm Team 10 because it doesn't necessarily matter if the actual hurricane stays offshore with the easterly component dragging that moisture farther inland. That could be very troublesome for us. So for tonight, any rain showers end. Then we're going to have drizzle and fog around, lows in the 60s. And then for the day tomorrow, we are looking at temperatures at 11 a.m., 72 up to 79 by 5. We'll make 79 your 3-degree guarantee high for the day on Wednesday. We fall into the 60s Thursday all the way through Monday of next week, back up in the lower 70s on Tuesday. Everybody wants to know, hey, Jeff, when are we going to see sunshine again? May see a few breaks tomorrow morning, but likely we're not going to see significant sun again until Monday. Today we forecast 72, actual high 75, $10 in the pot, $790 so far raised for the Star City Greyhound adoptions. So more heavy rain possible, if not now verging more towards the likely side as we head into Friday, Saturday, maybe even late Thursday, maybe lasting even into early Sunday. So we're going to have to watch this closely.
And we need what fell, and we need all that to get into the river and get gone before the rest of it gets here.
Yeah, well, I'm open to anything we can do to make that happen. I don't care if we go to the river tomorrow and go and get that water going down as fast as possible because this could be troublesome, very troublesome.
It was bad tonight, but it could be a lot worse this week.
It could be.
Another 4 to 8
happen,
inches on top of what we got. So, yeah.